They were screaming, and he was very hungry. But in all honesty, he was tired of eating most types of food. Being on the road all the time had its setbacks. He was always eating out. Mexican, Italian, Asian, all-American, Southern, seafood, fast food, food truck, bakeries, cafes, fine dining, upscale casual, tapas, sushi, Cajun, Polish, Greek, Middle Eastern, Sunday brunch, happy hour, whatever. Every day, every meal. He didn't have a home, otherwise he would have picked up cooking as a hobby. Oh, he would have loved to learn the special ways and different techniques to create a symphony of flavors. Oh, that would have been so wonderful. And since eating was his second favorite thing in the whole world, cooking probably would have been right up there with it. Who knows? Over time, he might have become a master chef too. But he didn't have time to learn how to cook. Not since his number one favorite thing was to collect people and to find the most exciting and interesting additions to his collection. He had to be constantly on the move. The sound of screams brought him back to reality, and it dawned on him that it was way past his usual lunchtime. He could even hear his stomach growl through the anguished cries. He switched hands on his briefcase and started down the street, just randomly looking at restaurant signs. His briefcase was home for his most prized possession. Hundreds and hundreds of miniature people who were not even an inch tall, all crammed in there. He started collecting them in third grade. He only had a small leather pouch then. Other kids were collecting marbles, but he was never interested in that. His best friend Bobby was the first one in his collection. He always wanted him around. He felt bad for Bobby's parents when he saw them crying, but there was no way back anymore. He couldn't undo what he had done. And more so, he got hooked. The second one in his collection was his blind neighbor, whose eye sockets were just empty holes. He was always creeped out by him, but also intrigued. The third one was the lady who was always feeding pigeons at the park. He collected some pigeons for her, too. The fourth one was Grandpa. When he was diagnosed with cancer, he just couldn't let him go. And so on and so forth. He soon lost count. He could always take them out and play with them, talk to them, ask them questions about themselves. Most cussed him out. Others begged for him to let them go. But some were cooperative. After all, what else could they have done? Every now and then a few would get away. He would always wonder what happened to them. Without the protection of him and the briefcase, they probably died, eaten by a cat or a bird or something. It was a shame, since they were all so special. And not just for him. He had some of the greatest personalities in his collection: artists, scientists, politicians, activists, intellectuals, celebrities, billionaires. Heck, even royalty. The small town didn't offer too many options for food, at least not in the historic district. The best restaurants in places like this were the little family-owned eateries. Sometimes he could find a real gem. But he wasn't in the mood for that. He wanted something different. Something that he hadn't had in a while. And then, there it was. Out of nowhere. He couldn't believe his eyes. A Hungarian restaurant. In a small town like this? Oh, he could taste the beef stew already. The Hungarian specialty that so many people mistakenly call goulash. But in actuality, goulash is a type of soup. Hopefully they order the paprika straight from Hungary. If it's not made with original Hungarian paprika, then the meal is not even worth touching. He was also hoping they would serve it with those little homemade dumplings. What are they called again? Ooh, nokedli. And hopefully they have pastries too. He would kill for a nice retesh. He took a deep breath and opened the door. Don't worry, little ones. I found a place. He would always give them some crumbs. The screaming subsided. And who knows? If he's impressed enough, he might collect the chef himself. He smiled as he entered.